I'll miss it all. Definitely being behind the podium. But of course, as I said, I'll continue to serve the president just on the outside, and we'll continue to fight for him and Republicans across the board and cheer him on every step of the way over the next 2 years.
Her look is very classic and streamlined, and she fits with the theme of what she does very well.
I'll miss you guys. I know that's probably not something anyone would expect me to say, but obviously it's been great working with all of you. And I think people don't realize about this job. The briefings and what I just did on TV is 10%. 90% of it is taking all of your calls at 5 in the morning and 11 p.m. at night. And I won't really miss that, but I will miss working with you guys every day. So
She's relatively classic in her style, I'd say. She does incorporate, I don't even like to use the word trends, but she does, add a little flair to her looks. Like recently she wore a red dress. She'll add those pops of color. Her shoes sometimes will have a little touch of like a sparkle to them or a little detail to them. So she does have this like where she adds a little character to her looks, but overall I would say it's sophisticated. She does a lot of bespoke style looks. I know she works with a designer, Christopher Cuso, out of Boston. He does a lot of her designs. She wears Reese frequently, I think Nora Gardner. So there are designs that are, I would say, pretty elevated go-to looks that are feminine and fit the body really well. She knows how to style her curves.
of course, it's a little bit bittersweet. It's bitter because I'm leaving a job that I love so very much, and it's been the honor and blessing of a lifetime to work for this president, President Trump. There will never be another like him, and to serve as his spokesperson behind that podium. It has been the adventure of a lifetime, and I am so grateful to him.
And so what about this look specifically? Is this in line with the usual style, or the colors kind of typically what she would wear?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see like a darker navy blue for her final day, but I think it's a little bit more conservative. I think she's trying to go, not cause too much attention, if you will, and I think this dress definitely does that. It's a little bit asymmetrical. It does have just not even a barely there sleeve. It's a midi dress, so it does come down to like the knee length a little lower. I was surprised to see the white shoes on because they kind of make a statement outside of, just wearing something like a nude color or a matching navy blue. So those kind of pop, but I believe they're the Jimmy Choo shoes that she typically wears. And if those were the Jimmy Choo, then I can understand having something in your closet to wear for this final look makes sense. And I think the dress was Reese. I'm pretty sure it's a Reese design, which is along the lines of what she usually wears. I do like the neckline. It was a higher up neckline, but with a slit in the front. So it kind of has a little style to it, if you will. But overall, I'd say this was somewhat in line with what she would typically wear for press conferences.
I will give my advice to whomever assumes the job. I think it's most important in this job to understand that President Trump is his own best spokesperson. And we joke, Stephen Chung and me, that he is the true communications director and press secretary here at the White House. And just understanding that, knowing that, and believing in the mission. I mean, I think you guys can all see, I believe so much in my heart about what this president is doing every day, the policies he's enacting. It's been an honor to speak on behalf of him and to understand his thinking and to relay it to all of you, but also to the country over the past 20 months. And then again, before that on the campaign. And I'll still be around. I'm going to just go to the other side so I can spend some more time with my kids. But again, thanks for everything.
And is the navy color something she typically puts on? Is it kind of as we're transitioning to fall, is this something that we'll see more of, or is it a little bit out of line with it?
I do think that the navy, she's worn these colors before. She does wear pretty solid, I like to say a little bit more bold colors. Navy isn't so bold, but I think it is understated. I think that's the look that she wanted to go for this. It's one of those moments in time where, she is stepping away from the position, and there's so much talk around that. So I think she wanted to keep the outfit as simple and understated as possible than having something like that, the red dress. She did wear the red dress 3 days ago, so that was kind of somewhat of a statement to wear something that bright and bold. But I think the navy, color, we can always talk a lot about color because color could be so subliminal too. I don't think this really was too much like that, but it was a bit understated for her overall look.
President is wholeheartedly committed to helping Republicans across the board retain the majority. And I think voters across the country will be presented with a contrast between everything this president and Republicans have done. Largest middle class tax cuts in history, no tax on tips, overtime, Social Security for our seniors. Democrats in this town want to talk a lot about affordability, but they voted against the largest tax cuts in American history. They voted against putting more money in people's pockets. So, President's going to Texas tonight. He'll engage in a fundraiser to keep loading up Republicans' coffers. There's obviously a huge cash advantage on the president's side, and he'll continue to go across the country, meet with everyday Americans, and push his message until the very last day. President Trump, there's no harder worker or greater fighter in politics than him, so you'll continue to see him stay out there. I do have a meeting in the Chief of Staff's office that I'm going to get to, so I'm not late for my last meeting, but thanks, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Thanks.
And what about all of her jewelry and her necklaces? Does she typically wear a lot of jewelry? Because it looked like she had like a few stacks of bracelets and her watch and all of her necklaces. Does she gravitate towards that usually?
I've seen her wearing some jewelry. I do think she wears pieces that are consistent in her jewelry and her wardrobe that, you'll see time and time again, like the watch. I know there was the mama bracelet, and I think that was a nod to why she's possibly leaving. She's spoken a lot about how she has 2 children under 2 and she wants to spend more time at home. So I think wearing that bracelet really says that. And wearing the stacks, I think that's a look that, a lot of women tend to have on multiple bracelets. They have their watch on, they leave them on, they don't take them off. I think that sort of speaks to being a mom in some ways, and keeping the jewelry on and wearing it without worrying about removing so many pieces, having the ones that are your staple pieces that you go to time and time again. I don't think her necklaces made too much of a statement. I think that they were just kind of there because of the neckline. It was a higher up neckline, but then had the slit in the middle. So there is a purpose for wearing a necklace in that regard.
And I think people don't realize about this job, the briefings and what I just did on TV is 10%. 90% of it is taking all of your calls at 5 in the morning and 11 p.m. at night. And I won't really miss that, but I will miss working with you guys every day. So thanks for being colleagues. And I know the president will continue to take your calls and provide you with statements every day until he assumes a replacement for the role. So just thanks for being partners here at the White House, and good luck.